We've all heard the saying that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but you might be thinking, how do I take care of that if my power goes out or if I'm camping in a remote location? Well, that's where the Jackery HomePower 3600 Plus comes in. This thing features power, portability, and safety all in one unit and can handle all this. We're going to be cooking a complete meal using the Jackery, and a little later we're going to show you some other functions on it like its UPS and its surge protection. This thing is packed with a lot of power and does a lot of things. It's suitable for families of 3 to 6 people. With us being a family of 4, it's perfect for us. It has 3,600 watts of power and 3584 watt hours of capacity. Also, if you got a bigger need or you're going to be going for a lot longer time, you can expand it up to 21 kilowatt hours of capacity so it can handle all your stuff. Let me tell you a little bit about this, and then we're going to get into cooking this breakfast. Okay, so this thing has a lot of features and a lot of ports, which we're going to be using 3 of these today at least. But let me show you the LCD screen first and explain. You turn the power on, the screen comes on. It's got an input, a percentage in the middle, and an output. The input would be if you were charging it, that's how many watts and stuff are going into it. The number in the middle with a circle shows the capacity that the batteries are at right now, which we have them at 88%. And the output would be like whatever we're using, which you'll get to see that go up really high later. Like I said, it's got 3,600 watts of power. So we're going to see if we can put that to the test and how much we can pull on it. The other great thing is it has a 30 amp RV plug. It has 4 120 volt AC plugs. So we're going to be using 3 of those. It also has 2 USB-C ports, which are 100 watt max, and 2 USB-A ports, which are 18 watt max. So even if we were using all this, if we needed to charge our tablets, phones, anything like that, we've got plenty of ports and options to be able to do that, and this thing can handle it. Okay, on the side of it, it also has other ports. It has ports for expansion. Like I said, if you want to expand it up to 21 kilowatt hours, this is where you would hook those into. You can tether multiple batteries and stuff onto this unit. It also has an AC port, which is used for charging it. So if you want to plug it into a wall, you can do that. Or you can plug it into like a gas-powered generator. If you want to save on fossil fuels and only use a few of those, you can run your generator, get this thing charged up, and this will run all day rather than having to burn fossil fuels all day long. It also has ports for solar. The great thing about this is it has the 500X solar panels. They're super easy to set up. They expand like an accordion. Just make sure that you can adjust the angle so that it's facing the sun. That way you get the maximum charge out of it. And if you're really in a hurry to get this thing charged, you can combine AC power and DC power. So you can have the solar panels running, also have this either plugged into a generator or an electrical outlet to get it charged even faster than what it was before. Also, this thing is super portable. It's got built-in wheels, which make it roll super easy, and expandable handle, so that you can pretty much roll it around like a piece of luggage, pretty much like a carry-on suitcase. It'll just drag right behind you. It also has 2 carrying handles, so if you need to pick it up, move it around, you can do all that as well. So now we are fixing to put this thing to use and show you how much power this thing can actually do. And we're planning on cooking some toast, some bacon, and making some coffee and seeing how much strain we can put on this thing. Okay, so we're going to start off by plugging in an electric griddle. One thing about it, once you plug it in, you have to turn on your AC ports or DC ports, whatever you're going to be using. And we're using AC, so we're going to turn it on. We've got this turned on. We're going to see how much power that uses. And then we're going to start adding this stuff slowly to it just to show you what all this thing can handle. Okay, so we're at 1447 watts with the electric griddle. That's going to get our bacon to start cooking. We like to cook it at a little bit of a lower temp just because I don't like crispy bacon. So we're going to plug in these other things because they won't actually start until we turn them on. So the next thing we're going to do is we'll start our coffee. That's the button. So we're going to watch this. Okay, so as that goes, okay, we are up to 2,700 watts right now. So we're fixing to put on the toaster and see if we can't push this on up closer to its capacity. Got the toaster on, and looky there, we're at 3,500 watts of power. So this thing's got 3,600 power. So even though we have all this stuff running at once, we've got our bacon cooking, toast cooking, coffee going, this thing can handle it all. Like I said, as the coffee goes off, you can see the numbers are starting to go down on it. But the great thing is this thing also has surge protection built in. So if you have a power surge, something like that, it's going to keep your stuff protected. So it's really great that they included all that stuff in this. We're going to let this stuff start cooking and see if we can't get this all done with our Jackery. Other great thing is they included next-gen heat-resistant ceramic batteries in this, so that means that the batteries are going to last a really long time. You're going to get over 6,000 charging cycles out of them, 10-year lifetime out of them, and at 10 years they'll still have 70% capacity. So you're gonna get lots of charges out of this, and it's still gonna have a lot of power and a lot of use for it even after 10 years. And if on a single charge, it only loses 5% over a year. So you can charge this thing up once a year, put it in the closet, and have it ready for emergencies. And you don't have to worry about when the power goes out and it's emergency going in there and it being dead, because you should still be at 95% capacity after 1 year on that single charge. So we're gonna let this stuff cook, kind of show you what that goes, and we'll kind of watch and show you what the battery power is at the end, and show you how much you actually use to do all this. Because like I said, we've got things going, and you just never know when you might have to do this for yourself. So there we have it. We have cooked a complete breakfast meal using the Jackery HomePower 3600 Plus. We've got eggs, toast, bacon, even made a couple of cups of coffee and some hot chocolate for Izzy. So it's down to 64% now. So we started out at 88. So on a full charge, you could cook 4 to 5 full meals off of a single charge on this thing. And like I said, we were really pulling a lot of power because for a while we were pushing it to the max because we were mainly wanting to test it out. So if you were just using an air fryer or maybe a griddle, something like that, it's going to last even longer than that. So now we're fixing to eat our breakfast, and then we're going to take you and show you exactly how this can be used as a UPS as well. So we demonstrated for you earlier how much power the Jackery has by cooking breakfast using all the different appliances that pull a lot of electricity. But we also mentioned it had a UPS function. What that means is it's uninterruptible power supply. So if you have appliances or any electronics plugged into this and this plugged into the wall, they'll run through that. But once you lose power, they automatically switch over to battery power, and it'll keep them continuously running. It's got a less than 10 millisecond switchover time, so you'll actually never lose power to your devices. Where that might be important is you might have a family member or something where they have medical devices or something like that that has to have power, and if they use this, then if something happens and there is an outage, they won't lose that. And what we're going to demonstrate for you today is using a security system. Everybody knows you want to be secure in your homes and your businesses, things like that. And this stuff is high dollar, which that's what's great about the Jackery is it has a 2000 volt surge protector. So even if there are power surges, things like that, your equipment's protected. So the way this works is we've got all of our security stuff plugged into this, and we've got this plugged into the wall. I'm going to unplug this and let you see that we're never actually going to lose power to our stuff, which means if there's a power outage, that's when people may try to take advantage of certain situations thinking security systems are not working, and this will keep you safe and keep your property secure during that. So I'm fixing to unplug it, and you're going to see, okay, we swapped over. There's no input power now. We never lost power to our security equipment, so our building and property is secure. I also want to show you on the screen to kind of give you an idea what's going on with that. Okay, so we're only at 69% battery right now, and we're pulling out 161 watts, and it shows that it'll run like a little over 13 hours. So generally most power outages are probably not going to last that long, but I want to show you how it actually is if you have it plugged in. So we're going to go ahead and plug it in. And I talked about this earlier, the input being the charging side. Well, like right now we've got an input of, it's constantly going up, but we're charging this at 1270 watts is what it's going charging at. It shows it'll take 1.2 hours to charge. And then now over here it shows it's 99.9 hours. And the reason is because it's not actually pulling anything from the batteries because we're still plugged into power. So that's how the UPS works. I'm going to show you the app now and tell you exactly how that works too, because it's got a lot of stuff you can do with the Jackery from the app. So this is what the app looks like when you first open it. We only have the one Jackery. If you had more, it would show them all here. We can click on it, and it's going to give us all the information about the Jackery we have. So it's going to show that we're at 70%, that it is charging right now. It shows what our input is that we're pulling in, 1,284 watts, and it's going to take 1.2 hours to charge. And it also shows our output of 159 watts, and it shows that we have the AC activated, DC is not. We can turn those on and off from our app. So if you want to do that, you could do that. You can set your screen to either be off to stay on for 2 minutes or for 2 hours. We have it on for 2 hours so it wouldn't constantly go on and off. And it also gives the temperature of your batteries. So the great thing about this is you can pretty much, instead of having to go to your physical unit all the time, you control everything you need to right from your app. So now that you've seen what all Jackery can do, you may be wondering, how can I get mine and how can I save the most money on it? Well, it just so happens that Jackeries qualify for up to a 30% federal tax credit. So at the end of the year, you can save money on your taxes. And it just so happens that they're running their Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale right now. So you can save up to 65% on their units. It's going to be the lowest prices of 2025. So be sure to check out the link in the description below and go pick out your Jackery today.